Well, my name is Stroughter. Grew up here in Vallejo. Started my young youth participating in the BMX, bicycles, martial arts, the little things, the good things back in the day. Then from that point, I played a lot of youth baseball, a lot of youth football. Was too big to play Pop Warner, so I just had to play the Sandlot football. Couldn't make the weight at Pop Warner. I was always like 150, 170, 180, so that didn't work out. So anyway, I stuck to BMX racing, bicycles, and stuck with the martial arts. Loved the martial arts. Been in the martial arts since 1973. Then later on, as time went on, I ended up playing high school football. And that's where it all started at. I started at Hogan High School, and at the JV level, had a great JV team. Myself, Tony Nickens, Johnny Richmond, the Matt Nanis, Campbell, Sean Campuses. So we had a phenomenal team. As a 10th grader, Theodis Brown, all the great guys, all of my friends was just college. Junior college, I was chasing some phenomenal records. You had O.J. Simpson, you had, and just talking about in the Bay, and you had the late great Travis Williams. And Travis Williams played at Contra Costa in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And that's who records I was chasing, and it was a great thing. And now what makes me feel excellent, what makes me feel strong and good is people say Cliff was good as Travis Williams. And we had a gentleman at Contra Costa College, Mr. J.D. Banks, and J.D. told many people that man is just as good as Travis Williams. And that right there was enough for me. I didn't need to hear nothing else from nobody else in the world, because Travis Williams was one of the greatest ever to run the football, besides Gale Sayles, Walter Payton, and Earl Campbell, and Jim Brown. But Travis Williams was right there in that same category with those guys. And you're talking about a great fleet. And it's wonderful that I was reading this article, and in the article it just says Walter Payton was saying what was a great athlete and a great back, and he said, in my book I recognize Cliff Stroughter as the best ever. And that kind of brought a tear to my eye, because I had a chance to hear it from his mouth up close, one-on-one. So on that note, I had a great career, and I enjoyed it. After my British American football career, I had an opportunity to come to the States, and I ended up signing with the San Diego Chargers. Got a 3-year contract with them, made the team, had a great time, got a chance to play in a couple preseasons, had a few little head injuries, had to get go into medical treatments, medical attention, and didn't get released, didn't get cut, came back, made the squad again, and still was dealing with the injury from the year before because it wasn't properly taken care of. But I hung in there, and the doctors told me just get well. And then I ended up going back over to Great Britain and setting one more record and football again, and that was it. And that became like 89, 90, and it was time to retire around 90, and that's when I retired. I really looked up to Bart Williams. Bart Williams was one of the gentlemen in Vallejo that was on the Olympic team and made the Olympic team and ranked in the world for over 10, 12 years. Just phenomenal. You couldn't, just to be on anybody's team is outstanding, but to be on the Olympic team, that means you're one of the greatest athletes on this planet. And that's why I really started learning a lot. You got some great people, great running backs around. There's so many in Vallejo. I can't even start naming, but Vallejo's got so much history. You had Mr. Upchurch, who they say came out of Hogan. Upchurch made it. He was phenomenal. You had the late, great Dick Bass, who was one of the best. But you had some of the less fortunates, like a David Higgs and a Kevin Dean and a Major Norton. Major Norton was one of my favorite athletes to watch. He's a good person. I love him today. I see him at the gym, and he just have that utmost respect for me. Just a great person. People can say people do bad things or wrong things or whatever. I don't judge no one. Everybody is human, and we all make mistakes. But we have had some great talent. You got the great guys like that. Spencer Davis, another fantastic, great, super great. I love Spencer. I know him personally. I've been knowing Spencer since 1970. He's like family to me. Wonderful superstar. But he didn't push his level on past college. I wanted him to push on past college. But something about this little Vallejo trend back in the 70s and 80s, all these guys that superstars go away and then they come right back to Vallejo. Well, I'll be damned if I was going to do that. I was getting away and stay away. I didn't want to come back here to Vallejo. I had something to prove, and I proved it. I don't talk a lot about it. Haven't talked a lot about it. I just stayed to myself. But what's wonderful about it, people across the country, people across the states, they recognize who I am. And it's sad that I don't get a lot of the recognition here from Vallejo, my hometown, my grown town where I grew up at. But it's okay, because the people that does recognize me here is who were some of my good athletes? Ty Johnson. I love Ty Johnson. Oh my God, Ty Johnson, as a junior, I had a chance to meet him. He transferred in from St. Pat's, came over to Vallejo, and I tell you what, God really knew what he was doing when he created Ty Johnson. He gave the man a great sense of humor. He had great demeanor. He was outstanding young man on and off the football field, and one of the best talent I've ever seen. And thank you, Lord, that I had a chance to coach him, to be with him, and as well as his best buddy BJ and House and all of those young men. But Ty Johnson was one of the greatest athletes in Vallejo who should have a key to the city. I got to put my hands on his shoulders and say, well done. And that's Bart Williams. People don't know how great he is. And as long as Bart can live on this earth and I live on this earth, we so cool. If I got a piece of bread, he's got a piece of bread. And he is to me, one of the best athletes, period, that I ever met. And the reason I say that, because I was fortunate and blessed to go to Los Angeles and run with all of his great competitors, from Edwin Moses to Dokie Williams, Malcolm Barnes, James Lofton, all the great athletes that Bart knows I trained under, trained with, and that's why it was already tough around me. I had a great supporting cast of the family. But you know, you always have your negative. People want to talk, people want to say this and they want to say that. Well, he did it in Great Britain. He broke all them records. Well, where did you do it at? You didn't do it nowhere. You know, you got a lot of negative, but then I got way more positive than negative, because not just here, all of my buddies and all the love from my buddies down in Los Angeles, California, New York, and Chi-Town, Chicago, they know who the real Cliff is. And it's all coming out now because everybody's casting it out all across the country now. How good we was at Illinois, who Cliff was at Illinois. You know, I got it all in writing. In Illinois, I ran 6'2", in this 55 meters. That shut a lot of miles right there. You know, was I really fast? Was I really that good? Well, too bad you didn't get in front of me and find out, because I'd have busted you just like I busted everybody. So anyway, to end everything on note, my name is Cliff Stroughter. Graduated in 1980 from Vallejo High, and this is the movie, and this is the real deal, and this is it's not no script cut, reading a dialogue or anything or dialect. This is real deal. So you got it directly from me. It's real. Anybody have something to say?